A few weeks ago, I said the Ford Raptor was the coolest pickup truck ever. I think I was wrong. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are looking at the Hennessey VelociRaptor 6x6. Now before we get started with the overview, if you'd rather not watch the video and you just want to build it, you can go get the instructions at rebrickville.com. There's a link in the description, and you can also get the instructions for the 4x4 Raptor there if you'd rather not have the 6x6. So, the Hennessey VelociRaptor 6x6, to give you some history on it, is created by a company in Texas called Hennessey Performance, and they've existed for quite a while now, and they build really crazy cars with tons of horsepower and tons of upgrades and stuff. For example, a little while ago they built the 1000 horsepower Jeep Gladiator, also the 1200 horsepower Camaro, the 1000 horsepower Shelby GT500, the 1200 horsepower Corvette ZR1, the 900 horsepower McLaren 720S, the 1000 horsepower Dodge Demon, 1200 horsepower Trackhawk, and coming up this year apparently is the Hennessey Venom F5 hypercar. So yeah, they make plenty of really crazy cars. In fact, you should go check out their website because they have plenty of really crazy cars. They tune the Lamborghini Urus, they're going to tune the Porsche Taycan. Quite a lot of crazy stuff out there that they make. But yeah, enough of that. We'll get on to the Velociraptor. So, the Velociraptor is obviously based on the Ford Raptor, and it has been chopped off, the bed has been chopped off, and it's been extended. Hennessey also tunes the engine to 600 horsepower in the twin turbo V6 that comes stock with the Raptor. And Hennessey also makes the Velociraptor V8, which is a V8 swapped Raptor, which definitely sounds pretty cool. Perhaps a ultimate combination would be a 6x6 Raptor with a V8 engine. If I remember correctly, Hennessey made 100 examples of the Velociraptor 6x6, and if I remember hearing correctly, they went for $350,000, which is quite a bargain compared to the Mercedes 6x6, which goes for about $1 million at the moment, or so, which they sell on average, they sell for about $1 million or something like that. It's very expensive compared to this thing. As for the Lego model, this is based on the 4x4 Raptor from the previous video, and it's basically been extended. We've added some accessories, and we're going to go over all that today. So starting at the front end here, we have that grille, which is it has some bricks, which is basically based around the 1x1 plate with ring, and it's got some bricks and slopes and stuff coming off of that, and then we got some brackets and plates and things and slopes coming in around it to form this almost mosaic-like pattern to create that very recognizable Raptor grille with the lights around it. Obviously the lights should be a little bit higher, but because of those brackets we can't make them that much higher. We have these wedge plates in the sides, which form that little angled place where the headlight comes back around the side, which looks pretty good. Obviously, the studs stick out a bit further than they should, but the wedge plates in the side definitely make it look a lot meaner, like the real Raptor, which has these sort of wide areas around the front headlights and fenders. The bumper, which is formed around the bottom with those upside down slopes, which are connected with minifigure lipstick accessories, as you can see here. It is modified from the standard Raptor with these slopes, which represent the more aggressive Velociraptor bumper. Also, this push bar piece, which represents the bar on top of the Velociraptor bumper, which this is not a perfect representation, but it looks fairly accurate. Up on top of the hood, we got that intake. Along the side, we have the fenders, and the fenders, as for the front fender, it should be, like I said, a bit different for perfect Raptor proportions. But obviously Lego doesn't make a Raptor fender, so we had to stick with this one, which is the next closest thing from Lego. In the back we have the dual two arches fenders to go over the rear wheels. Obviously the real truck has one big arch fender in the back, but this is the closest representation of it. I did think about putting black plates between the arches, but I think it looks better like this. Okay, so move on to the side. We have the running board along the bottom and those twin side exit exhaust pipes on either side. And those are definitely exaggerated, so that way people can see them better. Because if we tried to make them life size or scaled down, then they would probably be a bit difficult to see, and they'd probably be represented by Lego bars if they were actual proper scale. But these Technic connectors form a much more exaggerated and much more obvious exhaust. There's an indent in the side, which is definitely kind of an exaggerated version of the indentation on the side of the real Raptor. If we move up, we have a nice American flag 1x2 tile, which came out in the recent White House architecture set. We have the door handle represented by 1x1 black plates. If we move up to the windshield, obviously you can see the windshield, the A-pillars are represented by these hinge plates. And this technique is borrowed from the KMP MOC's Aventador, which is quite an excellent model, which I reviewed a couple weeks back. And basically, use these hinge plates to represent the A-pillar, and there is no windshield because LEGO doesn't offer a windshield that's about 8 studs wide and 2 bricks tall, so this is a very nice alternative. So, as for front window, there obviously is no front window because of the A-pillar design. There's that sort of drop in the front window that we've tried to represent. There's the B-pillar, which is all black like in the real Raptor, and we have the rear window, which is formed with bricks and plates, which obviously is not the most transparent window, but it definitely fits the size very well. If we look on the roof, it's quite similar to the other Raptor, except we have a massive light bar, which is definitely exaggerated a bit compared to the real Velociraptor's light bar. Inside, it's just basically the same interior on the previous 4x4 Raptor that I showed you, except that I have some white accents in it here as compared to the dark blue ones in the previous model. Now, this interior will fit 4 minifigures quite nicely, a bit tight, and as long as they don't have very large hair or hat pieces, obviously you could remove the headrests and fit some minifigures with larger hats or hair pieces. If we move around behind that, we have the roll bar behind the cabin, which is formed by this fence piece, which works quite nicely to represent the Velociraptor roll bar. We have these sort of bars coming down from the roll bar, which, as you can see, they don't hit the bottom of the bed. They just hit the sides, these side areas of it, which I think works as a good compromise for cargo space, because even though they don't come all the way down, from most angles, you can't tell that they don't come all the way down, and that definitely leaves you with some good cargo space for putting different cargo in there, whatever you like to haul around in a extended Ford Raptor, which would be very interesting. Around the back, we have the rear tailgate and lights. Now, the rear tailgate does swing open. On the back of it, you have these round boat plates, I think they're called. Some people call them, because you can use them to slide a Lego boat along the floor. Now here they're just used to secure the tailgate, and they're used because they're quite low profile. So you could obviously take them off if you want to put something on the tailgate if you're displaying it. And there's not really much else to say about the tailgate. It's a simple tailgate that doesn't look too bad. On the side, we have those wedge plates which contain the tail lights, and the tail lights are represented by these 1x1 transparent red bricks. And obviously there should be the stack of lights, or the stack of 1x1 plates that I showed you in the previous video, which also represents the parking sensor, as you can see here. Now, I didn't have enough 1x1 red, transparent red plates to represent that, so they're just the standard red 1x1 bricks. Now, this is corrected in the instructions when you build this. Around the back, we have this Velociraptor bumper, which is different than the standard Raptor bumper, but this one is kind of a compromise, because if we made it exactly like the Hennessey bumper, then it would look kind of oversized. This one, which is a bit lower profile than the Hennessey bumper, but also looks pretty good. So that's it for the overview. Like I said, the instructions are available for the 6x6 Raptor and the 4x4 Raptor at the link in the description. And that's it for today's video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.